Hey members, friends, and family. If you watched my last video, you know I talked about the Enchanted Pond. And that is a place where I do not expect to catch anything, but I am trapping it because I promised the landowner that I would trap it. Guess what? We have a beaver there this morning. I'm really surprised, but pleasantly. I'll show you. There's the spot. I showed you the trap right there yesterday. And finally a beaver came to check out the Enchanted Pond. I'll take care of him and talk to you in a minute. Something I want to say about that castor pile, castor mound, is that I think I might have refreshed it only once, but it's essentially been here for 5 weeks or something like that. So there you go. It lasts, right? The beaver came to it through many snows and rains. The scent was still there and it still worked. Hey, it's not a very big one, but that's okay. Any beaver we're taking in is good. We're using everything. Casters, meat, fur, tails, and helping out the landowner. I took it down already, but my camera was right up there, so we'll have some good footage to show you. And my castor pile was right in here. Remember I told you if I got a beaver on that set, he'd be sitting up on the bank because the drowning jug wasn't heavy enough. And that's exactly what happened. He was sitting up on the bank. So the idea of the cable, some guys use re-rod. Re-rod's great. It's very practical as far as working because obviously you can't bend it. So when the beaver gets trapped, when their foot gets trapped, their instinct is to jump back in the water and get away, right? But when they go down, when they're on a rebar, they're gonna have to follow that all the way down to the bottom. And I'll show you in another clip here. On the trap, there's a swivel, but the trap is connected to the rod or the cable with a one-way slide. So they're gonna have to slide to the bottom, and that's when they drown. So with the cable, it's flexible, right? So the best situation is that you can get that heavy weight on there and throw it out deep, and then pull back on that to set your trap so that the cable's nice and straight going down. Because once in a while, even if you have enough weight on it, if there's a kink in the cable, you know, there's a chance that they're going to get it twisted around something and not go down to the weight, which happens. In any case, I'm using quick links so I can easily attach my weights to my cables, and also I can easily attach my cables to an anchor like a tree or something on the property right where I'm setting the trap. And yeah, I think that was probably one of the longest sets I've ever had that I never really did anything to. I just checked it every day, which is required by the state law, and expected nothing. And I didn't readjust it, and eventually caught a beaver. Small guy. So what I was saying in the last video too is that the beaver may come back and visit as their family expands, right? So it's springtime now, and I think probably there's some mating going on soon, and that's why the season is going to end. Remember, this is an organic and renewable natural resource, so we have to let that happen. But probably this little guy might have gotten kicked out, right? So he's traveling about looking for his next place to lodge and live. I did see remnants of a bank den in that pond, so he might have been counting on that to stay in. And I heard that, you know, obviously to keep the gene pool healthy and everything, the beavers can travel really wide and far. I think I remember like 200 miles that the beaver can travel to start a new colony, a new family. I won't be able to get out here to check the trap, so I tripped them all off. And once the storm passes and things are good, we'll come back and reset things. So, all right, be safe, everybody. And thanks for coming on the Trapline with me once again. Hey guys, going back out to reset the traps after the nor'easter winter storm Sage came through. And we didn't get hit too bad. I think maybe we got about 6 to 8 inches. It's just that first 4 inches, when you take 4 inches of snow into a snowblower in first gear at the highest throttle and it just about conks out, you know that snow is wet and heavy. Boy, you had to take it a little bit at a time. Anyways, gonna reset the traps, and I just wanted to mention how cool it is to have the video cameras out on our little enchanted pond. We are seeing a mating pair of wood ducks, and wood ducks are, you know, they're in secluded areas. Believe it or not, they nest in trees, in holes in trees. That's why they call them wood ducks, I believe. But the male is so incredible. Beautiful, beautiful bird. And you're just not going to see them in open pond. So in this case, the beavers actually made the perfect habitat for the wood ducks. And I caught a nice muskrat near one of the traps, and we have a deer crossing, and that deer is crossing what I am now calling the Beaver Highway. It's right behind one of my trap sets, and if you watched my first video, I showed you that this area is the my sled's whacking me in the legs. I told you that that is the area where the beavers are doing beaver dam training. And you can see the adult beavers bringing the smaller ones into the area to work on the dams. I have no idea if they have to teach them how to do that or they're born with the skill, but it does pretty much seem like they practice. The term busy as a beaver really holds true. So I'm a little out of breath because I'm post-holing, but I'll get right back to you when we get up to this this spot, and I'm going to do a special set for these beavers. Okay, you've seen the video now of Beaver Highway, right? It's right, my trap was down in here. I got beaver here, but they're going every day up and through here. So what I'm going to do, this is running water, which is great, is I'm going to go ahead and set a couple of what we call blind sets in here. So a blind set is one where I'm not putting any lure or anything. I'm not attracting them there. I'm just getting them right where they walk, and we'll see if we get a beaver there tomorrow. Okay, that's the branch that they're stepping over. That branch, actually, we see in one video, the beaver actually dragged that right into there. So my trap is set right in the running water here, and I actually took my other trap from the caster mound and set it right here where the beaver are coming through. And then I don't want to make a blind set is really supposed to be blind, right? So we're not trying to change too much, but I have a couple branches over here and a branch here just so they arrange themselves to step in this trap, and this one is off a little bit to the right, so I'm going to get that front foot or that back foot. Okay, I'm back here at the enchanted pond, and it's frozen over, kind of slushed over. So I did reset the trap, but you'll see what I did was I just broke the slush open there. Sorry, muddy finger. I broke the slush open, and the trap's right down in there. And I actually put a stick with some caster here because this isn't a blind set, and we know the beaver were just in here once or twice, so they shouldn't be like cluing in on, hey, that's something I want to stay away from. So I also purposely bedded this snow down like a slide because that's eye appeal. If the beaver are coming in, they're going to see this, and they're just going to come directly over here because they see that another beaver has been here. So not worried about the cables like that. I got my camera back up, so we'll see what happens here. Oh, and that bank den I was talking about is right underneath there. So I've actually seen the ice broken right in front of it. So they might be in there right now. All right, hiking out now. I actually pulled out of every location but one right now, just because it's a little hard to hike in with the snow. And believe me, I appreciate the cardio. This is great. You know, you can pay to go to the gym, or you can just come out in nature and get a payback just from working through this. You couldn't replicate this post-holing on any step machine, I'll tell you that. So, but you know, I have to go to work and I got things to do, so have to manage my time and just keep it to one spot. I don't want these videos to be too long, so somewhere around 20 minutes at the most, because I'd like you to be able to watch them, and all 6 of you. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say that you'll have to watch the next one if you want to see if my little tricks are working with the blind set at the Beaver Dam training area and the foothold set at the Enchanted Pond for the beaver that seem to be coming back. I'll see you next time, guys. Have a great day and be safe.